Hey there, everybody. I'm joined by Joe Rotan for the second round of the Nick Hyde Memorial, powered by Innova Discs and Heiserbaum Discs. Joe, what do we got going on today?
Well, we've got the second round of the tournament. We've got the lead card heading out. We've got a brisk wind picking up. Looks like some weather blowing in, so we should be in for 18 holes of fun.
And we've got Peter McBride at 15 down. We've got Paul McBeth and Nate Sexton at 13 down and Simon Lizotte at 12 down, plus a really hot and heavy second card coming at these guys. Do you think the wind's going to play a role?
You know, I think it will play a role more so for the later cards in the afternoon than it did this morning. This morning out here in Rockwall was beautiful. Park was looking great. But these guys at this level on these top cards, Steve, they're geared up for this. They play well anywhere in any condition.
And with that, I think we're ready for Matt Siri and the call. Here we go.
He's not having the best round.
McBride on the tee. He leads by 2 currently.
Looks like Peter got a little bit of that, and appears he's just splashed OB by a couple feet. Silmar, California. Nate Sexton. End of a champion disc. All of you at home that got to pick up your 2017 Tour Series Nate Sexton disc last night at the end of a factory store, he sends his thanks. Hope he puts on a good show today. Going with that massive, sexy 2-finger there, Steve. Rolled over on that.
So far, they're leaving a little bit of room. I don't know if Peter McBride went out of bounds on that first shot or not. So nice and early, the door is open for Mr. McBeth.
Nice little Thunderbird shot for Paul up there. Puts him pretty much parked. And then we got our young Simon representing Team Discmania. He's definitely dropping big bombs yesterday. I'm sure he's going to play this wind to his advantage today, Steve.
Yeah, Simon's got some good control, good power, especially in a wind.
He's one of those players that's generally fun to watch golf. He's having a great time even when he's not having the best round.
And with that, we are out, and we will see you in 2 and 2.
I heard like, is he gonna be on pot?
Nate Sexton opts for the roller just to get out. He should be able to go up and down for the bogey from there.
He really chose a smart play there, Steve. You notice how he was sizing up all the different angles and shots. And I think he really wanted to save the cape for tomorrow. No time for superhero stuff today. Just get out safe, satchel up that 4, and let's head to hole 2.
Did you say save the cake?
Did I? Did I say save the cake?
You said satchel. I know that. So it looks like Nate is going to be the next person on the tee, or I guess the next person to throw again. This is his third shot. And now we will go to the putts.
And it appeared McBride's drive did go OB, Steve. If you notice, the card went over to give him a spot. That's how close it was. They went ahead and they've got him a spot. He's taking a meter relief, and he's going to go ahead and execute the putt.
Pretty smart play with this headwind. So that's how you do OB when it's close. The card goes and decides. Everybody makes the ruling, and as a card, they decide whether you're in or out. And Peter was out. He'll be set up for the drop-in bogey. Simon Lizotte now for birdie.
He took a good bit at it. By design, the way this basket is set up, Steve, if you're trying to make it from the back of circle 2 there, you've got a good chance of going OB. It almost appeared that Simon was trying to put it in the basket on the side of the end of a protomobile. Sexton go ahead, taps that, satchels that 4, as I said, Steve, and he's going to head on to hole 2. McBeth in with a big birdie. If that's any indication of how that young man's round's going to go today, we're going to see some really good golf out here off this card today.
So after the first hole, McBeth quickly closes the gap. McBeth and McBride are now tied at 14 down. We are out.
If I lay up, I get a personal best. But if I hit the putt, it's a new course record.
2, we've got Paul on the pad, sizing up the wind. We've got quite a gallery building here on day 2. Disc Golf Pro Tour Stop 3 2017. Steve Dodge, Joe Rotan on the mic, live from Harry Myers Park, Rockwall, Texas. And McBeth with a rifling shot catches that first tree. So he's probably down at the edge of the shul there. Got Simon coming up. Simon Cardner 3 on hole 1. Moves into the number 2 position on the pad. And that tree has grown a little bit since yesterday, Steve.
So as we'll see with the women, bouncing off left here puts you in a very difficult position. Just getting up and down from the left side is very difficult. If you're going to do anything, you want to miss far right and give yourself at least a putt into the basket. Peter McBride sets himself up for a very manageable approach. Let's see what Nate Sexton does. He's got a significant tailwind, and he's watched 2 of his 3 competitors hit second tree. That was a significant shot by Nate Sexton. Well done.
That was a route you haven't seen too many times this weekend. So McBeth is going to dress his up shot from down here. Nice little mid-range shot. Skips it right up to the basket. Great shot. So it wasn't as bad as the drive might have portrayed.
You're absolutely right about that, Joe. One interesting thing is how Paul ran up the hill to see, because that's a really fast green that they're trying to land this on. For example, if this hooks up, and it does not, that's a beautiful shot by Simon Lizotte. It's almost like he knew that this was going to stay straight.
Yes, we saw him throw some great shots with that disc yesterday.
And on to Peter McBride.
Peter had a good center fairway drive. As you said, he's got a really manageable upshot. Just a matter of getting in that groove, getting used to this big gallery following you around. And he'll be playing pretty much straight downhill towards the water on this one, but he's got a little room between the basket and the edge of the water back there, doesn't he, Steve?
Yeah, he really does. And gets around that tree if he can sit.
Checked up nicely there for him, Steve.
I don't think Peter's really afraid of the crowds after his performance at the Tour Championship. He shot the hot round in the semifinals, and then was neck and neck until about 9th or 10th hole with McBeth in the finals. So he knows how to perform under a good amount of pressure and a good sized crowd.
Yeah, I believe so. Shake off that first drive of the day and settle into that groove like we were talking about. Sexton with that great rollers put himself in the best position as far as drives on this hole. Signature flick up to the basket. It's a little skip away, but these should all be basic putts for these guys at this level. And Simon lining up his putt, Steve. Facing a little uphill putt. Not a lot of wind down here. Regular putt. Even though we had a great mix of drives, I think we're going to walk away. Not many changes on this hole. $20-25 there.
Disc Golf Center is your #1 choice for discs, accessories, and low prices. With free shipping within the U.S. on all orders over $12, discounts from our customer rewards program, and the ability to pick out the exact weight and color disc you want from our live inventory of over 20,000 options. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. Visit discgolfcenter.com, the world's largest disc golf store.
Paul McBeth on the third tee. We've got some information from other cards to discuss. That was a monster shot, Joe.
That's about 2 of my drives, Steve. So what's this racket we hear about the other cards? You want to wait till these guys tee off? Enjoy Simon's drive yesterday. He pulled a great shot here. He gets it up high in that wind. Doesn't seem very pleased with that, Steve.
Sometimes you can just tell by body language exactly what's going on. I'll say one thing, Jeremy Colling is 6 down through 6 and has moved up to 12th place, which is pretty impressive for Jeremy.
Might we have back-to-back tour stop wins by that young man? Has that happened before on the tour, Steve?
Peter McBride laces one straight down the fairway, straight as a string right through the thin gap. Well done by Peter McBride. The growing gallery loved that shot. You think Nate Sexton's going to pull out another roller here, Joe?
You know, he might. He's either going to keep it low or he's going to take it up high. But this wind today, I'm not sure what to expect from Nate. That roller on the last hole kind of shocked me. I thought we were going to see the signature flick.
I was actually wondering about that after I saw Simon's shot. It's a very aggressive shot by Nate Sexton. It still ends up left of the fairway, but it was fun to watch. And we're out, and we're on our way to see the
McBride with his up shot. Puts it well inside the circle. Well played hole by that young man there. Sexton has found himself mid-fairway, kind of in a boggy marsh. He's going to line up his footing. He's got a couple trees in between him and the basket and a strong left to right wind, or right to left wind, excuse me. He threads the needle as well, find himself inside the circle. McBeth heading for his shot. Paul has a few of these trees in his line as well. He's only about 90 feet from the tee, or from the basket, playing about 3 feet up. He puts it right at the pole. He'll have a drop-in 3 there as well.
This wind seems to take away the concept of the aggressive play, doesn't it, Joe?
You know, it is on this hole, Steve, for sure. As they had off the tee, they had a little protection from the shore on the right. Once their disc get, you could definitely get blown out.
Under normal. Oh! That's what I get for talking. Thank you, Simon Lizotte from downtown. That was about a 65-footer.
I'm pretty sure he had to transfer and get on a different bus and take it the rest of the way to the target, Steve. That was a heck of a putt.
Joe, I'd go ahead and call that a double satchel for Simon Lizotte. That was a beautiful shot. Nate Sexton. Third shot. There was an audible sigh there. Significant headwind. It's the lower part of the top band.
Yeah, he just got out high on that. I'm not sure if the wind played a factor in that or not. McBride with his tap in, McBeth with his tap in, and then Nate will, of course, satchel a 4, and we'll head on to the next hole. Let's go ahead and see how the ladies are doing. All right, welcome back to the Disc Golf Pro Tour, stop number 3 in Rockwall, Texas. Beautiful Harry Myers Park. Joe Rotan and Steve Dodge on the mic.
Joe, we've got some pretty interesting stuff going on the chase cards right now. Namely, Tim Barham and Austin Turner are 5 and 6 down respectively through 6 and 8 holes. They're both 14 under for the tournament. Sitting in a tie for 4th right now with Simon Lizotte. Another guy making big moves is Jeremy Colling, who's now 7 down through 9 holes. He's 13 down for the tournament, tied for 7th, 1 shot out of 4th. You mentioned a two-peat, Jeremy winning back-to-back Pro Tour events. That would be quite a feat.
Has that been done before on the Pro Tour, Steve? Have we had back-to-back winners?
That's a statistic I should know. Let's see. Bradley Williams won the first one. I know that. And Paul McBeth won the last one. So, based on that information, no.
Say somewhere in there lies your answer, correct? You have any other great stats for us, Steve? I saw you were looking down at some putting statistics earlier.
So a couple of very cool things here. Will Schustrick so far today has no bogeys at all. However, he's missed 8 putts inside circle 1. He could be lights out. He could be climbing the leaderboard, and instead he's struggling with his putter.
That's too bad. That could easily be 6 to 8 strokes the other way for him. Maybe he'll catch fire and catch it halfway through in the back and go ahead and make those moves.
Yeah, his driver's been on fire from the first 2 stops of the Pro Tour. It's time for the putter to catch on and Will to make some moves. One other interesting stat, yesterday, all 4 players on our lead card birdied hole 4. We're getting ready to watch them drive, and it'll be interesting to see if they can all birdie it again, or maybe we can get an eagle. And with that, I'm going to give it back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Steve. We're waiting for the chase card to kind of clear the fairway on this basket. Had some great drives on the second hole, and Wysocki actually laid up behind this tree here, kind of fired off into the shul over there, and he's got quite a crowd anticipating his shot coming out. But I think they're going to give the tee pad the green light right now. So we are live. Hole 4, Nick Hyde Memorial, presented by Innova Champion Disc and Heiserbaum. McBeth lining this drive up. You notice how calm the wind has got all of a sudden compared to what the last card played through here, Steve.
I'm going to go so far as to say that you saying that caused the wind to burst up a little bit. McBeth's going up and over.
He's going high over the trees, and he's going to have a great placement in the middle of the fairway. That is perfect. Great drive by McBeth.
How far do you think that throw was, Joe? How difficult is that shot?
That's fairly difficult, Steve. Throwing it that high and traveling about 500 feet. Simon, the big pull over the same way, and that's staying over for him. That could be right. Oh, he caught the tree at the end, or he would have been perfect in the cradle. That is one heck of a drive. That kid can really bomb. McBride next up on the pad. Gets a big pull. This clears his first level of trees. Smart play. So far, these guys are managing the drive on hole 4, Steve.
Yeah, Peter with a smaller arm is still going to have a really good look down that tunnel shot for the chance at eagle if you can pump it all the way in there. Here's Nate Sexton.
Nate going out over the top as well. He seems to have started off a little right. And that is going to be in the woods, Steve. Now let's see how the ladies are doing.
Yeah, yesterday I went underneath the branches of the long tree.
right, so I'm back with Steve Dodge mid-fairway, and they have located Nate Sexton's shot, and he is definitely in the rough over on the right-hand side there. But we're going to go ahead and cut to McBride. I believe he's out with that safe shot right up the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, Peter's put himself in a good position to card the birdie here pretty easily. A nice safe and another nice safe shot. He could try to gun it and give himself a look at eagle. We'll see what he does.
You know, Steve, you seem to be up on his style of play. What do you think he's going to do here? You think he's going to try to hit that low window, or you think he's going to take advantage of that open air up top with this wind?
That is a tough call. I would go low because I play safe.
He's just going to put it right at the mouth of the window. Nice, smart play. Love from the crowd. Quite a group of spectators out here today. Saturday on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, headed up fairway 4.
That was a very smart play by Peter. Trying to go up and over with this wind brings a lot of other variables into play. Peter played it smart, took the skip. He'll have a very good look at birdie. Maybe a long run at eagle. We've seen one from Simon already. A long run, not an eagle. Who's up next, Joe?
I believe it's going to be McBeth. McBeth had a great shot up over all the tall trees, came down just before the depression. He's got a good shot to the window here. He can put himself in a great position for a 3 here. He's got to shoot that gap and go up right about 100, 180 feet. McBeth with a good aggressive pull. Oh, and he catches that tree up front, or that would have been about a tap-in 3. He's still got options.
That could have been a 2 on a 5. That thing was humming.
He put some heat on it for sure. Paul's definitely pressing. I don't think he'll give much away today. I think they're going to have to take it from him, Steve. Head over here to the right and check out Sexton's lie. Right after it landed, there was tournament director Matt Siri and a few others instantly moving to try to find that disc for Nate and make sure that everything stays flowing here. Go ahead and got him spotted up, and he's going to go in and try to address his shot. From his lie, it appears he almost cleared all of that, the trees and the brush area there, Steve. He probably just caught high and dropped in there. So it's not as bad as it looked from the tee.
That is the truth. I assumed he was in a deep, dark, desolate place with a nice out. He's still looking at a good up and down.
Yeah, you're seeing some disciplined play from Nate. He hasn't found himself in the best positions today, but he's been able to manage them and turn them into opportunities, or stop the bleeding, if you will.
Stopping the bleeding is critical in a situation like this.
And we believe that Nate is still out. He should be facing. He's got a good shot at the open window there. We've got some spectators up on the left. We'll try to get those out of his way. Make sure he's able to get a good shot off. I want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching at home. If you're watching the Disc Golf Pro Tour website, checking out the UDisc stats. We've got Steve doing a lot of analysis of that today during the broadcast. He got through the window a little skip. I couldn't really see how it ended up. The crowd didn't really react either way, Steve.
Well, the crowd behind us, just like us, doesn't really know how close he got. My guess he's got an easy 5. He's got the par. But I don't know what kind of look he has for birdie. We're looking for Simon's disc. It's off here to the right, also in the shoal. And just so people know, this is probably about 80 to 100 feet short of where Eagle McMahon landed. He was right in the mouth of this opening. And he had, in my opinion, a very good look at the Eagle. It'll be interesting to go and look at the numbers and see what he actually carded on this hole. We're getting ready for Simon's second shot. just like the hundreds of people watching, Simon is trying to figure out what the best option is.
This hole plays well to the old terminology of risk and reward, where these guys have taken a significant risk in firing out over the shul and tall trees. The reward is, of course, fairly easy birdie or eagle. It seems like they're pressing, and the course is pressing back today, Steve. Simon is adjusting, taking a look at all of his options. As he says, decisions, decisions. But he's got plenty of shots in his bag.
I think I know what Nate Sexton would do. I don't know what Simon will do.
WWNSD. Simon gets it out, catches that tree, makes it getting a little new, but he's still right up there where he wants to be. Should be a birdie for sure for this young man. Tournament director Matt Seary, a jack of all trades and a master of many, as he's coming out of the wood line on a little spot job. Way to hustle, way to help these guys out, Matt.
You know what? Part of the job. I've climbed a tree today. Now I'm just chasing down some discs.
Way to keep it flowing. All right, we'll come up here, and McBeth bouncing off that entryway tree. I believe he's going to be out, and he's looking at about a 110, 120-foot shot here.
Joe, so far there's been one eagle today on this hole, and that was by, in fact, Will Shoestrick. So, and I've got some other information for you. We did have a back-to-back winner on the men's side. Wysocki won the Silver Cup and the Majestic. On the women's side, Holcomb won the Silver Cup and Majestic as well. And obviously Page won the first two events this season. So we've had back-to-back twice on the ladies' side and once on the men's side.
Nice. Hashtag girl power. All right, so moving on. I'm not sure where Sexton skipped off to. I see him looking over again on the right side of the fairway. He's just not really getting the breaks that he needs right now.
And if you're watching, this is some pretty good action. Make sure to click share. Share on the Facebooks, share on the Googs, put it on Pinterest. Let people know about us.
If you like it, then you should have put a pin on it. Okay, so we've got Simon just inside, about as far into the shul as he was on his last shot. Caught that tree, got a little new. He's going to go with a little forehand roller. That's going to put him nicely in circle one. So he'll be able to tap in and get on to the next hole. Now we're moving up to Sexton, and he did fire into the woods here on the right as well. But I believe he has a small window of opportunity around the back right side to still get up and down.
Joe, we should assure people that there are fairways that these people could be throwing from, but they are taking the risks and throwing from the shul as a result.
Sexton weighing in his options. Goes up over the top, catches the edge of that tree, but he should be able to clean that putt up. I believe that will be a 5, sir. Quite a crowd walking with the lead card out here at Harry Meyer Park. Got quite a bit of movement throughout the course. Seems to be a great day for golf for everybody. We've got McBeth and McBride tied at the top, followed one stroke by Wysocki, tied with Austin Turner, who Austin Turner is definitely making a move in the field today. He's 7 down after 9. That's a pretty hot round. All right, Peter's lining up his putt. He's probably at the back of circle 1. He's looking at about a 30-footer here into the crowd. Bam, that was a nice putt. Nice putt.
I don't know about you, Joe, but it's pretty fun watching one of the best players in the world putt a disc right at you. Peter McBride made an amazing putt, and Paul McBeth did not follow suit. Peter McBride is now winning.
So that breaks up that tie for the moment. Seemed like Paul kind of rushed that putt. For those of you, I'm not sure if you can see it at home, but these guys are literally putting into a crowd of about 100, 150 people. And as I anticipated, Sexton had no problem getting that in to walk with the par. All right, now let's take a moment and get a word from our sponsors.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
And we're back on hole 5. This hole plays really short, Steve. I believe it's 200, just over 200 feet.
Simon with a really nice upshot. Looks like he's just outside of circle 1. It's a very tight, short hole. It's a different kind of skill for these guys to show.
Another great shot. This is pretty much a must-get birdie at this point.
I think you're absolutely right. Peter McBride has stepped up, said, I'll take that last birdie. I'll take this birdie. Paul McBeth, if you want to push, now's the time, because I'm not giving up. That's what Peter's saying.
This should be a good round today. Some good competition. And the Guardian trees come into play.
He hit that tree, but he still got just outside circle 1, it looked like.
Got Sexton lining up. Let's see if we can put one down here. He goes with the flick, and he catches the Guardian tree as well. Nate not happy with the with the breaks that he's getting so far this round.
Let's see what the women have to do here on hole 5.
Nice shot. Thanks.
And Sexton with a great run for that birdie from about 73, 74 feet out.
Joe,
Got a
If we were playing dollar, we'd both owe each other $1. We thought he'd give that a run and get it in, and he gave it a run instead.
Yep, I'd owe the old Dave Wise $1 for sure. And Simon with a great drive. He's well inside circle 1. Nice 2. Nice 2, and Paul is just at the edge of the shul on the right. Should be a basic putt for McBeth. And he'll pick up the 2 as well.
For driving with power or into a headwind, Vibram designed a distance driver with amazing glide and a strong, predictable fade. It is the ideal disc for big arms, forehand drives, and smooth right-to-left finishes. Introducing the Olace from Vibram. Durability, grip, performance.
Hey guys, I'm Cody Bradshaw with Team Prodigy. Simon Lizotte, Team Discmania. We're out here on hole 6 on the Nick Hyde Memorial Course, Harry Myers Park, and this is one of the shorter holes on this course. It plays about 222. There's a couple of variety of shots you can take here. Personally, I like to throw a nice little hyzer flip-up putter. Just kind of go at the big tree and let it bend a little bit right. Yeah, you'll see most players throw putters, maybe mid-ranges for like touch straighter shots, or if your sidearm's on point, then a sidearm's a great option to get around the tree here. Yeah, or you can also just play a nice little putter mid-range and let it hyzer out a little bit just left of the tree. Any of those shots will probably get you within 25, 30, give you a nice circle putt. Yeah, you better birdie this hole. Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's not good. I mean, it's still a birdie. Oh, God. That's not good either. Hey, that's a good line, actually. Oh, that's nice.
All right, welcome back to Disc Golf Pro Tour, Nick Hyde Memorial, Rockwall, Texas. Steve, you got any interesting statistics for the folks at home?
Not statistics so much. We've got a little bit of movement, though, for everybody. They can go home and watch this on udisclive.com, or they can download the UDisc app. We just watched Ricky Wysocki birdie hole 7. He's now sitting at 5 down. He's tied with Paul McBeth at 17 down. Peter McBride leads at 18 down.
That was a nice putt. We happened to get caught in that gallery as we were trying to get here, and he probably put in about a 50-footer from there. Pretty crazy angle. Got a good response from the crowd. Here we are back on another one of these shorter wooded holes. These guys could either be shaving some strokes or adding them on.
Peter McBride hit an early tree there. So, open the door a little bit for Paul.
Paul's lining up with a rock shot. So I think these guys are going to be chest bumping a good part of the afternoon, Steve.
I don't know exactly what that means, but I suspect you're right.
Sexton, once again, is just not getting by the trees the way he'd like to. Did get a nice flick off down the little valley there. Now let's go to the ladies. Back mid-fairway on hole 6. McBride puts it right up at the base of the target. It's just a couple feet off the fairway with that early tree hit. Now we've got Sexton once again seems to have 1 foot in the shoal, 1 foot on the fairway.
One interesting stat about this hole, Joe, is last round, everybody on the lead card got the birdie. McBride's already not. Sexton's going for the birdie right here.
Sexton with a great run, just skipping off the top.
This is, in fact, playing as the easiest hole on the course, averaging a little under half a stroke below par. We could, with 2 birdies here, we could hit half below par in the lead card.
McBeth lining up. Another nice 2 by McBeth. So how does that help your average there with just Paul tapping that one in?
I assume Lizotte's going to get the birdie as well, so we will, in fact, average 2.5, which is right around the entire average for the group.
All right, well, the numbers don't lie. Let's go ahead and hear from a word from our sponsors.
What did you just do?
I'm stamping this misprint.
Yeah, but you triple stamped the double stamp.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Can't too.
Cannot.
Can't too.
Cannot.
Can't too.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't, Eric!
Guys, enough!
You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Just do it!
You want to say McBeth's birdie 5 of the first 6. That missed putt, he was going for an eagle. Wait, can you get a... Okay.
Back on fairway 7. It was a great drive by Lizotte. The crowd definitely enjoyed that one.
Now next up is McBeth, who's birdied 5 of the first 6 holes. Just that 120-foot putt. This is only mar on the card.
Little Thunderbird shot catches a tree on the left-hand side. I'm not sure how far it went in. He should be still. Have a look at the basket. Oh, and that's an early hit. McBride now has had 2 early hits in 2 holes. Nate gets a nice shot down the middle. Nice skip. Crowd moving. I think he's going to have a good run at the 2 there, Steve. Let's go to the women. All right, we're back mid-fairway where McBride is straddling out. Gets his second shot off. Nice gentle mid-range shot right to the wood chips up there. It's a good recovery.
It is amazing the control these guys have. Just putting a disc on that ante and letting it ride, trusting it to hold the ante. Nice shot by Peter McBride.
Yeah, he was kind of spread out on that shot, some uneven footing. Just kind of committed to it and made it happen. Get a little love from the crowd out here today.
So yesterday, Simon and Peter birdied this. The other 2 guys got the par. I think Simon's got a good shot at birding again. And it'll be interesting to see if Paul or Nate can get them.
Oh, McBeth with a monster run. That was pretty close. He's thought that was going in.
It's fun having a slow green like this so you can make those kind of runs. You don't have to worry too much going past.
Yep, it's not going to run too far by.
So another interesting thing going on right now, Austin Turner, who started the day on the 6th card and is presumably still on the 6th card, is 8 down through 10 holes and is in 5th place.
Sexton with a little tap-in birdie there. It's nice to see Nate get down here and shave one of those strokes off. That's going to give him a little momentum heading up top.
I think you're exactly right. I think we saw that almost 60-footer just chained left. Now this. I think Nate is ready to turn things around for his round.
McBride puts it in to save that par from the far right edge of the fairway.
I've got a little interesting story about those little arrows on the UDisc Live app on the next hole.
Beth tap in 3. Simon's going to have a tap in 2. And we're on to the next hole. Let's go ahead and take a moment and thank our fine sponsors.
Those little arrows in the
30 seconds. You notice how they're not counting us to one, though?
I don't notice that. I'm not listening.
Oh.
But you want to avoid that?
Mm-hmm.
Are we live?
On the hole 8 Mando, Simon gets around left, puts it right into circle 1. And again at home, if you go a little too far behind the basket or if you go left on this fairway, you are headed into some downhill shul.
That is probably one of the worst places to be near a basket on this course. Simon did a great job taking it out of play. Yesterday, all 4 guys birdied this hole.
Nice. Nate took a nice shot around there and just kind of set it right halfway between circle 1 and the pole target. McBeth next on the pad. Going with the McFlick. Gets around the Mando. Ooh, drops it right at the pole. Peter's going to be batting cleanup here on hole 8. All of these players opting for the short flick skip shot to kind of stay away from that mess on the left. Let's go ahead and see how the ladies handled this hole. All right, we're down on the green and hole 8, McBride about 50 out. Just misses right. Leaves himself about a 20-foot comeback. Next on the dance floor, Nate Sexton. Hopefully he can turn this into back-to-back birdies, Steve.
I suspect he will, but that, just like before, he's got a little bit of a headwind to deal with. We saw him miss high earlier.
He's putting right into that headwind, but it's not a super long putt. Nate's been fairly hot with the putter this round. It's a couple great runs. He drops it in for a 2, back-to-back 2, so he was feeling that momentum coming out of the valley, Steve.
Absolutely. I'd look for Nate to make a run. That was dead center.
Simon next up. Just kind of putting with a crosswind, right to left. A little high, but it sticks it. He sticks it right in the old disc catcher target.
Yesterday, Simon birdied holes 2 through 11. He's on pace to do it again today. These guys better watch out because he's about to grab a piece of the lead.
He will creep up and take it. McBride assessing his comeback putt. This will be for the 3. Everyone else on the card is clear with birdie 2s. And it's another day at the office for McBride.
Let's go to our sponsors and see what they had to say.
Let's go. McBeth with it.
Hey there, everybody. I'm joined by Matt Seary, the tournament director here at the Nick Hyde Memorial. Matt, how do you think things are going today?
Things are going nice and smooth. Like we tend to be here, everything's running on time. We've got all the leaders out, cards started on time, weather's holding up. Besides the few little backups we typically have on this course, everything's going really well today.
I would have to say I agree entirely. Once we got through hole 4, everything went super smooth. What do you think about this lead card that we have going on the men's side?
Man, I mean, you couldn't ask for a better lead card. We have the three players that were in our playoff last year on the lead card today. So you really can't ask for better action than that. And of course, Peter just shot lights out yesterday and set the new course record on this tournament layout.
I think having the people from the playoff last year plus the person that breaks the course record, that's a pretty good lead card. You want to tell us what you think about what's going on the women's side, which is almost equally crazy?
Yeah, that one definitely is. Paige is the 2-time defending champ here at this tournament. And I believe she is 1 out of the lead right now, and Katrina made a big move today, charged to be tied for the lead with Sarah. So we are in for a real battle there tomorrow, especially with the possible weather incoming.
The weather is going to be interesting, and Paige has already said to Terry yesterday that she does not like playing in rain. My apologies to everybody if we just spoiled things for you, but the women have an exciting round ahead of them that you're going to see. And there were some very exciting shots, and there were also some very exciting mishaps, some shots that hit baskets, rolled down the hill, behind baskets. This is a pretty tough course, isn't it, Matt?
It is. It's one of the courses in the area that really utilizes a good amount of elevation change, as well as having some tight technical holes. There's a number of places where you can suffer some rollaways or some bad kicks and be into a lot of trouble. This hole is one of those in particular.
So, and we are on hole 9. You get a little heat stroke out here. So we're on hole 9. Matt, can you tell us what's going on down the fairway and what makes this particular hole so difficult?
So this hole itself is one of the most technical holes on the course. It's only about 402 feet, but the fairway weaves as you work your way down. For only being a 400-foot hole, this is a par 4. If you're playing for the 3 like a lot of guys do, there's a layup zone on the right side of the fairway up about 300, 350 feet. So there's a lot of players that have started throwing a sidearm here off the box, and then they're just having a little pitch up to the green to take their 3. At the same time, if you're one of those that likes to throw understable, you can really pierce a hyzer flip up the gap and have a look at the 2.
So is it a scary green up there, or is there danger? What's going to happen when we get up there and watch?
The green's more open. There is a hill there, so you can get some rollaways, but the real issues here are when you get off the fairway. You get one tree kick here, and you can easily turn what would have been a 2 or a 3 into a 6 or a 7.
So I'll go ahead and say you nailed it on the head. Editing the women's footage earlier, it might have been this hole, might have been 11. There was so much foliage going on. It was hard to believe there were fairways on the hole. So exactly right. Once you get off the fairway, you are in a world of hurt. These are deep Texas woods, and I'm glad that I'm nowhere near them right now.
Yes, the Scary Myers nickname for this course is definitely fitting, and this is one of those courses that I try to wear pants to when I play all the time because you've got thorns off in the rough, and it's not fun if you get over there.
Pants never hurt. And with that, I think we're getting close. Nope. Terry says we're nowhere near close. Joe, you want to step in here? I'm going to look up some statistics real quick. I'm going to throw this to Joe.
All right, yeah, as Matt was mentioning, in Texas golf, when you get off the fairway, you're either going to get stuck, stung, or poked. Out here, I'm not sure. They have any kind of ivy issues out here?
Oh, definitely. A little bit of all of it. Poison sumac, poison ivy, poison oak. So if it's something that you've got issues with, the pants and long shirts are definitely very good to have on this course.
Nice. I'm not sure I stepped into this interview. Have you guys covered any of the history, how the Nick Hyde Memorial came about?
We haven't. I've talked about it a little with Terry in the past, but this tournament's actually been running for well over 10 years now. It originally started as the Title Disc Open. It was a first-year A-tier back in 2011. I believe that year Devin Owens won it. Nico was here. There were a number of the top guys that came in. And then this tournament dropped back to a B-tier for a number of years. 4 years ago, I was helping a team called For the Chains Disc Golf out of Austin, and we turned it back into an A-tier at that time called the For the Chains Open. The next year, I acquired Hyzerbomb, And we were trying to find the right name to rename this tournament because this was one I was going to be taking over. Nick passed, unfortunately, and very tragically. And I went to the guys that are on this side of town, the integral members of the East Dallas Disc Golf Association, and the guys that grew up with Nick here in Rockwall, and proposed the idea of making it a memorial tournament for him. At that time, I got to meet Nick's family and got their approval for it too. And from there, it was just all balls rolling, so to speak.
Yeah, and it's kind of grown into what it is today. So good job on that.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking me down memory lane. You know, you mentioning Title Disc makes me think of Josh Dan.
Yep.
You know, old school player here in the Texas area. And for the Chains, was that Kevin Eldridge, I believe?
Yep, who's
And actually
competing in Masters this weekend.
Right, this is his first year being a pro, and I've seen him a lot of places I've been as well. So basically, as the TD, you know, how's it rolling for you? You got a fine group of staff. I know you got plenty of spotters. You got great water stations. Everything's going from this end that as I'm walking through looks great. How are you feeling as the TD, the guy orchestrating all this chaos?
I'm feeling a lot better today. The first day of the tournament's always stressful, always hectic. I am blessed to have an incredible staff of volunteers and team members that take their time out to come out here and help out with this. Without all those folks, I couldn't do that. People like Steven Huckabee and Ashley Hendricks, who played last weekend and are my assistant TD and my scoring assistant. The voice that you guys discovered yesterday, Mr. Ray Moore, drove all the way in from Fayetteville, Arkansas to MC this weekend for us. Obviously, you came up also. So now I'm blessed to have folks that came in from all over and are willing to really bust their tail to help this event go well.
Nice, nice. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're going to get back to action. I hope you guys at home are having a good time. And I'll thank Matt and his crew once again for putting on a great event. And Steve is back with some stats.
Oh, it's not. I do have some stats. But
the last I heard was Steve throwing off a Chad to Terry. But I haven't heard count.
I was trying to get out. I just pulled it. Well. Oh, actually, my cord's sitting on my third. I know. We need to get off it over here. Yeah. Who's throwing it? On this turn?
Mid fairway, hole 9. I believe that's Wysocki's on the pad next.
Wysocki's currently at minus 17, 2 off the pace that's being set by Simon and Paul. And he's got an 80-footer for eagle on this very challenging hole 9.
Yeah, but he's just about 20 feet outside of circle 2. Nico's shot strays left, and it'll kind of be about 15 feet off the fairway. A little bit of the shul, quite a few guardian trees in between him and the circle. And Eagle with the big whip. He's firing over the top. That gets new. He's looking at a putt. Oh, he gets a generous kick, and he'll be inside of circle 2, Steve.
Eagle, he could use an eagle here because he's only 2 down through 8. He's actually fallen down to 15th. He's lost 8 spots when I look at the Nico arrows. One interesting thing, I'd love to chat real quick about the Nico arrows. If you're watching on UDisc Live and you see the first column, which is the people's position, you can see that little arrow. The interesting story at the Waco, Nico actually missed the first 4 holes, so he had 16 penalty strokes on the first round. So in the second round, the UDisc guys added these little arrows to indicate how far people had moved relative to their start of the day. And we call those little arrows on this thing they call those actually the Nico arrows, in honor of him moving up a ton. And today, the person moving up a ton is Jeremy Coling. He's currently in 6th spot, 10 down through 15. He's minus 16 overall, just 3 strokes off the pace.
It's Big Germ putting a pick in the fro today and picking it up a little bit.
I think this is Emerson Keith, if I had to guess.
He definitely had an early hit.
He is a DFW native who's played lights out yesterday. Struggled a little bit today. He's 3 down through 8. He's currently in 7th place. I'll go ahead and say I met Emerson at the Festival of the Flying Discs last 2 weeks ago at Waco. That went way right. He's still in trouble on hole 9. What Matt mentioned, this is a very tough hole if you get off the fairway, and Emerson is learning that exact lesson, which I suspect he already knew.
Yep, it's the old risk-reward factor. This course has so much of, if you do go for it and you punch a big shot down the fairway, you can make great things happen. But if you just get off your line a little bit on a hole like this, Steve, it could be devastational.
That is the truth. And it's tough to be 25% down the fairway in the woods and you're throwing your 3rd shot. But these guys have some skills. I have a feeling Emerson's going to bounce back very well. On the next throw or two, he asked Terry to get out of the way. We will tuck in a little bit deeper and not walk over a cliff.
Steve, just about stepping off an 8-foot cliff here to get out of the way.
Whatever you need to do. I would have been talking the whole way down.
Emerson's lining up his shot, checking out his options.
So I just got news. Clinton Jackson, who is also from Dallas-Fort Worth, has eagled the last 3 holes. He's actually playing on Big Germ's card. He is now in 5th place. Clinton Jackson is making a move.
Sounds to me like they've got some great energy on that card today. We keep bringing up a card that was several cards back at the start of the day. They seem to be putting on a little small fireworks show there for us, Steve.
Oh, my gosh. As a matter of fact, Clinton Jackson just aced hole 16. He is now in 2nd place overall. It's an amazing story.
Wow. Disc Golf Pro Tour ace. Is that the first one of the weekend, correct?
It's the first one on this first day of April.
Wow. And it's the first.
Yeah, actually, I'm making all that up. April Fools.
Are you joking me?
I'm joking with you.
Darn it. Would you like some ham for that sandwich? Okay, Nico just off the fairway here. Take a look at his options. He's got quite a few trees in between him and the circle. He's going to try to reach out and get it around.
I'm just going to say a couple of things real quick here, Joe. Ricky Wysocki's got about a 60-footer. If he hits that eagle putt, he'll be tied for the lead after 9. And Nico Locastro, if he can guard the birdie here, he can move up into 6th, tied with Jeremy Coling.
Plays it out high. That worked out well for him. He's up top.
Nico's got some mad skills. He, after getting those 16 penalty strokes at Waco, he missed the money by 1. So apparently he was hoping to get 15 penalties. Well, he's probably hoping for 0. But he would have been easily top 4 if he had not gotten those 16 penalty strokes. And the reason he was late, he was in a car accident on his way to the tournament. No, had to wait for the tow truck.
Yeah, it's happened to a couple of the disc golf greats here over the past couple of years. Sarah Holcomb, World Championships in Pennsylvania. It's the same instance. Comes back and battles through and still ends up, I believe, in second in a good spot. So, hashtag real world touring problems. Let this card get out ahead.
So another interesting fact about hole 9, Matt Seary mentioned earlier that if you pump a nice Anheuser, you can get up here and look for eagle. That was a nice looking putt by Emerson, if I have my people correct. But Paul McBeth yesterday actually drove past this hole and had to shoot a comeback for the eagle deuce.
Wow. Let's talk about threading a needle there, Steve.
That is the truth. Haystacks beware. So this is Eagle McMahon for the eagle. Just like Nate Sexton needed something to turn his day around, Eagle Sexton could use this to get back on track.
You gave it a good bid, just missed left.
From our perspective, that looked like it was going right in. I thought it was a perfect putt, and he missed high and right. Yeah, or left. High, left, right.
Both of those, I believe.
Yeah. And we just watched Simon walk by. For the on the tour this season, Simon is putting 94% in Circle 1, which is the best of anybody on the tour. One other interesting stat: he has not missed inside the circle this tournament.
Wow. And those stats grow throughout the tour, correct?
Absolutely they do. And those stats are part of the reason that Simon is tied with Paul in the lead right now. He's 7 down through 8. Paul's 6 down through 8. They're both minus 19. Peter McBride and new Austin Turner are now tied for a third, 1 stroke behind. Austin Turner is 10 down through 14 holes.
Lots of movement today. You know, one thing the folks at home might not realize, Steve, is how those stats get up on the UDisc site. And that's done by an amazing group of volunteers that come to these events week after week. Download the UDisc app, get the password from the scoring squad, and walk with these cards and actually monitor and log every shot. So that's kind of amazing. It's a grassroots effort that's going to the next level all in one breath.
It's really exciting, and it's really fun to see the people who get to do it. And routinely people will come out, and we have the women go off in the morning, and they'll do the stats for the women, and they'll finish that round, and they'll say, I want to do the stats for the men. And they do 4, 5, 6 rounds because it is so much fun to watch these best players in the world and keep the numbers for them. I think we're live on the tee here at hole 9.
We are live. And Simon. Right over our heads. A great looking drive. Ooh, and stops pin high up on the plateau. What a great drive by Simon.
Nate Sexton, who's got birdie the last 2.
Nate Sexton riding the last 2 holes with a birdie up on the pad. Right over our heads as well. And he's about 80 feet from circle 2 with that one. McBeth on the pad, hole 9. Yesterday, as Steve was saying, he drove past this hole and had to come back for the 2. Let's see how he plays it today. Catches a tree on the right side of the fairway, about halfway down. Peter going to address his shot. And he catches the same tree, falls within a couple feet of McBeth's disc. Let's go see what the women are doing now.
Catch 2 holes. Yep, either up at that turn or here.
All right, we're back live on hole 9. McBeth lies, having him do a knee straddle out on the right side of the fairway. Great shot. Well executed.
That's when you're on your knees, that's all arm strength, isn't it? You can't get your hips into it too much, and it's just you got to rotate and throw. I look at Peter and Paul, oddly enough, who both hit this inside tree, and you could tell they were going for the eagle, because that's you want to play it tight to that tree and go just past it. So Paul set himself up for a putt for birdie. Let's see what Peter can do.
Yeah, Peter's able to shoot that window out of the shul there. He's not going to have to play out or take a knee. And Steve's right, they both did hit that tree on the right side about 20 feet up, so they were due to carry a good another 100, 150 feet. Got a good shot out. Looks like he caught one of the trees down by the green. We can't really see from our angle.
So as we walk up to the green, Drew Gibson entered his scores after the round. We didn't have a live scorer with him. He was 12 down on the day. Moved him up to 6th spot right now.
So this course is rewarding some aggressive play today.
He's moved up 27 spots according to the Nico arrows.
Sexton about 5 feet in the shul on the right-hand side, has plenty of room to get a shot off. Puts it right at the pole. Great shot, Nate.
What a great touch. What a great touch. He's going to be able to keep his birdie streak alive. That'll be 3 in a row for Nate.
Nice. Again, this is playing a par 4, so this drop-in 3 will actually be a fairly easy birdie compared to some of the ones he's hit today so far.
I suspect Simon's eagle will be a fairly easy eagle relative to other eagles he's done in the past. Presume.
We've got Peter McBride just outside of circle 1. He's looking at about a 36-foot putt. He's putting about 4 feet up. Getting settled in. Just high. The elevation that Matt Seary was speaking of earlier. is kind of coming into play on this hole. You folks at home can kind of see the elevation changes just on this hole. 2 or 3. Got Paul at the far edge of circle 1 behind the basket. Oh, great putt, and it pops out the back of the target.
I've actually seen a couple of those watching the footage on the ladies' side. On the ladies' side as well. It's heartbreaking.
Simon with a great eagle there. That'll definitely move him up on the leaderboard, on the U-Disc leaderboard. Let's go ahead and take a moment and visit our sponsors.
Flashlight LED disc golf discs just changed the game. The unique Disco Select feature allows everyone to choose their own color by simply pressing the middle button, then pressing it again during the first rotation of colors when the one you want appears. Or you can leave it in disco mode, rotating through the 6 different colors for the duration of your game. Designed by serious professionals, crafted from Night Eye's unrivaled sure grip material, and featuring Night Eye's patented fiber optics array, these discs strike the perfect balance of durability, stability, performance, and just plain awesomeness. With easily replaceable batteries and an uber-long life, the Flashlight driver, mid-range, and putter will shine as they blaze your path to victory, day or night. Night Eyes. Discover your solution.
All right, on hole 10, Simon sizing up this big drive. Yesterday, he took it all the way around, a big turnover shot, air shot, all the way up to the mid-fairway. He did it again today, but he caught a little bit of branch right off the tee. Not sure how that worked out for him. Yesterday, he was up around the bend looking really good with that shot. I think he caught a little shag early there, Steve.
It did look like he did, and I don't think that was turning the way he was hoping. Yesterday, all 4 of these guys birdied this par 4, making it look like mincemeat. Here's Nate Sexton, who's working on 3 birdies in a row.
This hole is broken down into various little shul alleyways. If you look, they've got the route that Simon took. You got the route that Sexton just hit with that roller. Once he makes it through this wall of shul, he'll be out in the second base fairway, and then he'll be able to get up and around. He's about 3 turns away from making the basket.
He's got a pretty accurate roller. He puts a lot of trust in that thing.
He has pulled off a couple nice ones today. McBeth on the pad. Takes it down the middle, catches some foliage on the right. He's still dropped out to where he can get another shot off and possibly get around the corner and still be looking at a 3.
So he clearly reacted negatively. He's struggling right now. The last hole, he actually pulled it to the right as well. Just something to keep an eye on.
McBride with a nice rip down the gut. That'll get him to that second fairway area. Let's see how the ladies handled this hole, Steve.
Tried.
We're back mid-fairway on hole 10. McBeth is asking a photographer to move out of the fairway. Just like we thought, Steve. He went ahead and threw that flick around the corner, and he got up there. You know, McBeth is no stranger to having cameras and, you know, videographers running in and out of his lane. And the way that these pros that are playing at this level, they tolerate that and handle it, and they respect that because they know that we're bringing the message to the people at home. It was nice to see Paul get the adjustment that he wanted and then still make the shot.
Right. He did a great job of that, and you could see him sort of mentally reset and say, okay, that's the way that's going to be, and I'm going to throw my shot. And he thought about a shot, and he made it.
I hope it's a great picture. McBride, about 15 feet up from McBeth, but a little better placement in the fairway. Another good flick, and he's going to skip just past circle 1 and circle 2 and land in circle 1. So these guys are in great position coming around this corner.
They're making this par 4 look like a pretty easy par 4. 2 of them set up for birdies right now.
Sexton got a nice pull. He just strayed a little left on the fairway, but he probably has a small window to work that angle to still get around both of these turns. He goes with the flick, and that might be a little to the right.
He gets confirmation from Simon as to how close he is, and we will see when we get up there.
And the gallery is building. More and more folks here in the fairway on Saturday. The sun is tucked in behind these building rain clouds. Hoping that we can get the rain out of the way tonight so these athletes can have a good day tomorrow to get their final round in. Simon with just a basic up shot. Crowd really enjoying that. This kid is smooth. He's really building some momentum. I believe he's up by 2 now, Steve?
He is up by 2. He's also the leader in tour points tour points. So he's got a lot going for him right now.
He sure does. Let's see how Sexton has settled onto the right side of the fairway here. Again, this shul, it's right behind the basket, drops off at about a 45-degree angle. Could go as far down about 40 feet. Sexton seems to be checked up in some shrubs just past the basket.
Paul McBeth just made a request for photographers in the future to have camouflage suits head to toe. So he was apparently aware of the photographer. He did a great job of resetting, but that's an interesting request. We'll have to throw that one in the archives, see if it sticks.
For sure. I believe they're looking for McBeth's upshot as well.
You didn't just brush me off, did you, when you just said for sure? Because you sounded a little bit like someone that might brush me off.
No, I wasn't trying to brush you off. I was actually trying to, let's get out of Paul's line here. I was actually trying to see. I noticed that Nate had jumped off from looking for his lie and went over to help Paul with his. And I was trying to see what they had going over there so we could get the word to the folks at home.
Paul for birdie.
Nice bird. Considering how unhappy he was with that drive and then the ability to pull off a great upshot like that after that. Sexton. Just came out wrong on that one. You could kind of hear him groan as he threw that one. That definitely was not the putt that he wanted to let go.
One thing when editing the women's footage, one thing I realized very clearly is that it's a long tournament. You can have a bad shot. You just need to recover, make your shots. Your opportunities will come.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. McBride with a nice hit to the heart of the target.
It is a marathon, not a sprint. I will say, however, Simon seems to be sprinting right now.
He does have a little pep in his step. Sexton with the comeback. And this is Simon for his birdie as well.
As we go to our sponsors, Simon's up by 2.
For me, it's time with my friends.
For me, it's a walk in the park.
For me, it's my job.
For me, it's fun.
All right, we're back live on hole 11, men's lead card, Hyde Memorial Disc Golf Pro Tour, Rockwall, Texas. Simon coming off an eagle birdie run. It's on the pad yesterday. He really got a great drive down on this hole. This hole's playing 627 feet. He takes the Big Annie route. He's trying to go over the top of everything. Waiting for a word from the crowd up front. Not going to get it. He landed definitely out of our vision, but that was a really nice pull.
I think pretty much everybody in the state can't see that disc at this point.
It's nice to know there's a generation of people that can throw farther than we can see.
You tickle me, Joe.
McBeth lining up his drive. He takes the same route, squeaks that tree. And all these drives so far, Steve, have landed on the left corridor. This fairway splits down there. So they're staying left.
What do you expect Peter to do?
I think he's going to do what you said, just stay low. Yep, he took it right up the gut. Be a very nice placement shot. If that stays out of the trees on the left, then he's got a really nice look at the basket.
Does the fairway
for the upside? It opens up out past the layer of trees in the hallway on the left. Kind of opens up playing to the corner of the property.
We saw James Conrad throwing a shot, which I'm going to guess now was his second shot after he threw up and over and didn't quite make it.
Right, I would imagine Conrad took the same hole that Paul and Simon did. He just dropped off left, and that put him onto our fairway. But he still pulled off a nice shot. Let's see how the ladies handled this hole. All right, we're back mid-fairway. Nate Sexton addressing his upshot. He's got a couple trees in front of him before he gets to the open part of the hole. He pulls off a nice flick. Ooh, what a shot by Nate. That would have been a big two, Steve.
That would have been an improvement by one throw over yesterday for sure. Hole 11 yesterday ended McBride's streak. He birdied holes 1 through 10. And this hole ended his streak of birdies. It looks to me like he's in trouble again here on hole 11. All the other competitors birdied it.
Yeah, he's skipped pretty deep into the shul here on the left-hand side. He's out exploring his options. Yeah, I'm not sure what window he's taking. We've got people moving on the left side of the fairway. He might be headed out that way. He's about 30 feet from where the hole opens up. If he can just get out to where he has a fairly wide open shot, it should be drop in 4. He caught that first branch.
You could hear hearts break with that shot right there. We all wanted to see something. Peter's been doing a great job, and that was a tough break.
Yeah, he was really locked into a fairly wooded area there, so he was limited on his possibilities to get out of there. And I think he was just trying to dump it out to the open part we were talking about. Just caught that one little branch. See, now he's got a nice open shot. He's throwing 4.
I'd like to see him sink this and save the par. How about that, Joe?
That would be beautiful. And Steve, keep in mind that this is the hole that has the OB behind the basket in the form of the wrought iron and the barbed wire fence. We saw this get a few players yesterday. He takes a great run at it. Is he going to live up to Steve? Ooh, he still lands inside the circle, though. I think he was trying to make your dreams come true there, buddy.
When you're playing on the lead card, it's tough getting a bogey when you suspect everybody else is going to card the birdie. So might as well make the run. He made a great run. Didn't go out of bounds.
McBeth coming in. Nice little up shot there, staying in circle 1.
As we said earlier, though, Joe, it is a marathon, not a sprint. There's always time.
I don't anticipate them getting to the finish line till sometime around 5 or 6 o'clock tomorrow. So they got a lot of running to do, Steve.
And they're probably going to be wet when they finish. We got some rain on the way.
Yeah, you can see the storm clouds building overhead here in Rockwall. It's that time of year here in Middle America. And as if you've been watching the news the last couple weeks, they've definitely had some weather events in this area. So let's hope for the best out of this storm. No one on this card remotely close to playing with the OB to the side and behind.
So I just got an update. First of all, I'm going to just say, as Steve Hill often says in our recap videos, Simon just loves metal. I think he got a little bit of metal again. And Austin Turner is now officially in second place, moving up, continuing to move up. He's now minus 12 through 17 holes. And he's on fire and in second.
Nice, nice. So far, the best number we've heard from the round today is 12, right? With Drew and who were you mentioning earlier with the 12s?
Jeremy Colling, Drew Gibson, Matt Bell, and now Austin Turner. And Austin Turner actually has 1 hole left. He could go to 13 if he birdies hole 18.
McBride ran a little far past. Not a problem with the putt. He's been making those comebacks today, and that's got to make him feel good.
Yeah, that was a nice bogey save. You definitely don't want the double bogey here. Here's Nate Sexton for birdie.
Yeah, great hole, Nate.
Nate has now birdied 4 of the last 5. And Simon is now 11 down through 11.
All right, well, let's take a moment and visit our sponsors. Okay, Simon on the pad, hole 12. He's sizing up that big hyzer route. He took this route yesterday and caught a bad skip and ended up about 20 feet OB. Looks like he put it out far enough right today. Crowd loves it. Great skip. Got to remember at home, folks, they've got a OB line all the way down the length of the hole on the left. There's a barbed wire fence about 4 feet in the trees. So these guys are definitely trying to swing it out right.
So another thing you have to remember, Peter McBride set the course record yesterday with a 15 down. If Simon can card this birdie, he'll be 12 down through 12 with 6 to go. Here's Paul McBeth.
Paul attacks down the middle. Another great shot. Crowd definitely enjoyed that shot. Sexton next up.
This is 332 feet. It's playing up probably 15 feet, so it probably plays like 380, and these guys are pumping it like it's nothing. Easy.
Sexton lining up that Hyde route as well. Sexton squeaks by the guardian trees up front. Oh, and he catches the top way down the fairway. Still out the fairway, I believe. He was worried about that when he let it go. He got by this first tree just fine. McBride coming off that 5 on hole 11. He goes down the middle as well. So we had 2 go big hyzer bomb and 2 straight up the gut. Let's see how the ladies handled this hole.
What do you throw straight up the gut like that? You were 32, I assume so.
We'll see if Nate can hit this birdie putt. You know, then birdied 5 of the last 6.
Oh! Just got new at the end. What a great run for Sexton. About 70-footer.
He's had 2 of those this round. Very exciting long-distance putter, Nate Sexton.
You're exactly right. If you think about it, they hit the exact same spot. He'll have the drop in 3. McBride's drive puts him up next. Inside circle 1, he's looking at about a 24-footer. Another nice putt.
You could see he pushed that a little bit left when he released it, and he knew there was a chance that wasn't going in. And indeed, it missed off left. Another tough break for Paul.
Yep, and Simon steps up with the tap in. And Sexton will clean up that 3. And we'll be off to hole 13.
Simon now has a 3-stroke lead as we go to our sponsors.
Hole 13. Lizotte on the pad. He's playing 222 feet, about 15 foot uphill. Pulls a little bit to the right. He does get some love from the crowd up there, a little closer to the basket, but I'm sure that's not the placement he wanted. McBride coming off that birdie. He's now stepping up to the number 2 position.
So one interesting statistic as we watch McBride's flight into Circle 1, it looks like Paul McBeth and Simon Lizotte have both had 0 Circle 2 putts so far, attempts or makes. And Paul McBeth has missed 3 putts inside Circle 1. He's also trailing by 3.
I'm sure that doesn't make Paul happy. He takes the high route here. And he drops into Circle 1 as well. Here at the Nick Hyde Memorial, presented by Innova Disc Golf and Hyde. Sexton settles into his groove. Nice little flick shot. That'll play nicely. No one even flirted with the OB behind the basket here, Steve. Yesterday on the lead card, we had quite a few guys that did. But let's go ahead and cut to see how the ladies played this hole.
It's funny when you have something you want to say. Oh, I shouldn't keep talking.
Simon with a big putt. And he can be aggressive, Steve, because we've got the tribaloid OB line back behind the basket, so he was able to miss that. And normally, if that was a regular OB line, he'd be about 3 or 4 feet. But having the tribaloid OB line there kind of afforded him a little extra energy.
I'm really glad we have Tribaloid Aboard as a sponsor, and I think Simon is too. They make great video games.
McBride from outside of Circle 1. And he doesn't make contact. We've gotten quite used to seeing him drop all these in from this angle and this distance. We got McBeth right at the edge of Circle 1. Little tree in his way. Nice putt.
Was it me, or did he look uncomfortable on that putt?
You know, I think he's just trying to get back into the zone. You know, he's had a couple bad breaks with putting today, staying really humble. I'm sure he's just trying to get back on the horse and keep riding.
Well, we closed the gap to 2. Here's Nate Sexton to pull into a tie with Jeremy Coling.
Yep, Nate with another great putt.
Oh, we got Simon yet.
Simon's going to go ahead and take his meter of tribaloid relief there, get him a little closer to the pin.
And just so we know, Nate Sexton just pulled into a tie with Jeremy Coling to 8th. Simon Lizotte still our leader by 2. Let's see what our sponsors have to say, and then we head on over to 14.
Perfect. We still have McBride here. You're just a little jumping on the gun there, Steve. There he goes. He's back in and out. So now we're going to go ahead and visit our sponsors.
Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it! Just do it!
McBeth on hole 14. Nice flick shot.
Skip.
Clears the trees, gets a great skip. He'll be inside circle 1. As I said yesterday, one cool thing about this hole, Steve, is they can be a little more aggressive on the drive because of the upslope behind the basket leading to the OB. So you can pack one in down there, and it should check up nicely.
It was fun watching Paul be able to be aggressive on that drive and give his skip shot a chance of getting the ace. I bet Nate does the exact same thing.
Nate lining up the flick. He got a little hyzer-ish there. Still got a nice skip, and he'll be, I believe, just outside of circle 1. Simon's weighing options.
An interesting thing about the last, about hole 13, Nate Sexton was the only person on the lead card that birdied it last round.
Simon taking the route. Oh no, he took the big hyzer bomb route, and I believe he is about 20 feet OB, because keep in mind, Steve, they've got that barbed wire fence running all along the left here again.
I think you're right about that, and Simon perhaps giving away a couple of strokes very quickly.
That was definitely a Simon route, though. He was able to get that up and down. He takes a little off that. That's a great drive. McBride going to take the same route as McBeth and Sexton. Oh, but he catches the tree that they both miss. So let's go ahead and see how the ladies manage this hole, Steve.
Around that tree.
Okay, McBride lining up his putt on 14. Tree just in front of him. Smart play. We'll have Simon off to the left of the fairway, looking for a spot. Big hyzer bomb route on this hole, and just kind of got up in the wind and carried him a little too far left, Steve.
I think that's the same wind that caused Peter to putt the way that he did. He wanted to give that a chance, but make sure he kept the par accessible. And this is Simon putting for par right now with McBeth basically parked.
Simon firing from the knee, hits just high.
He is so smooth and natural. If I've got a disc 70 feet away, I want him to throw it. He's amazing.
It's one of those guys you love to get at random draw doubles at the weekly.
That's yeah. There's a fantasy pick for everybody. We're giving people some hints here.
See what Sexton does here. He's locking in on this. He can very easily knock this down. Goes high, goes off the end of a flag. Not happy about that. Now we've got McBeth. heading up. Let's see how close he settled to the pin. He got a great skip. If I had a little more beef on it, no telling how that would have went. All right, so he gets in for a 2.
So interestingly, Nate Sexton sitting at 18 down. Austin Turner is in 4th place right now at 20 down. So, and Peter McBride is at 19 down. If those guys want to stay on the lead card for tomorrow, they've got a little bit of work to do. And Paul McBeth, I think, just tied this thing up in 2 holes, gained 3 strokes.
Yep. Let's go ahead and take a look at the sponsors. McBeth gets one off. He's going out over the trees. He's headed right towards the Heiserbomb Delta Windjammer 5-foot elevated basket. Another nice skip attempt by Paul.
I'll go ahead and say that's a short 5 feet, but a very nice drive by Paul.
Sexton on the tee. He comes off the big hyzer, giving it a great run. Oh, just in front of the elevated basket. Still stays within the number 1 circle. I believe McBride will probably take the same route. He comes out a little wider and catches the tree just to the right of the basket. So he's going to be barely inside of circle 2.
For those of you watching the catch cam right there, that was Terry Miller, who was clearly a little scared of that disc.
And Lizotte taking to the air again. He's got a nice angle on it, but it's going to need to get legs. And he drops out short. Just inside circle 2. Let's go ahead and see how the ladies played this hole, Steve. All right, we're down on the green, and they're sizing up who's going to be out. It looks like it's going to be McBride. He quickly steps up and just lays up to the pole.
The elevated baskets, this is the first time we've seen them on the Pro Tour events. This is the Heiserbaum Delta Windjammers elevated basket. And Simon Lizotte looks like he's going to make a run at this.
You know, a little bit of trivia for you, Steve. The very first disc golf club that I ever joined as a disc golfer was the Delta Windjammers, based out of beautiful Stockton, California. So it was nice to see the old hometown love there.
Absolutely. Those guys, they do a great job. Greg Gustafson and the Delta Windjammers are the reason we have bleachers at Maple Hill. We put in one set of bleachers that they sponsor each year. They're sponsoring this elevated basket this year, as well as Heiserbaum. And we just saw Simon Lizotte miss, and he's another 35 feet past, and that's the trick of an elevated basket is if you make the go for it, you've put yourself in jeopardy of three putting. Peter McBride took that out of consideration with his safe play.
Simon doesn't fear the comeback at all. Can't make them if you don't run them.
Simon took the bogey out of consideration as well. He just did it in Simon style.
So, Steve, do you think we'll see more and more of these elevated baskets that are able to highlight the sponsors of the Disc Golf Pro Tour in years to come?
Right now, we're sitting at 2 of them on the course. We actually, oh my gosh, Nate has another tough putt. We're sitting at 2 of them on the course. This is Paul McBeth for birdie to take sole possession of the lead.
Solid putt. Nice to see.
So Paul McBeth's going to go home and think, I'm in the lead by 1, and I gave away 3 putts. Simon Lizotte's going to think, I gave away 4 strokes on 3 holes. But they're 1-2.
Yeah, though a lot of these guys at this level go back and relive those shots and try to count up where they can make improvements and adjustments for the next day. Let's go ahead and cut to the sponsors. Okay, so I believe we're catching the third card. That was Eagle. Second card, that was Eagle off the tee. Had a little slip there. I believe this is hole 16, right, Steve? This front corner edge of this tee pad is definitely slippery.
I'll trust you on that. Especially, it might get more slippery in a minute because we've got some rain threatening right now. But I'll say that hole 16, as we watch Ricky Wysocki throw a roller right at us.
Heads up. All right, everyone stays off of it. You got to love an alert crowd.
Alert and agile. Hole 16 right now is playing as the hardest hole in the course today. It's 0.35 over par. Yesterday was the second hardest hole, 0.24 over par. And yesterday, McBride and McBeth both birdied it. Lizotte and Sexton parred it. And that looks like Nico with another beautiful shot. These guys are going to have some good approaches to try to birdie this.
Yeah, they're definitely laying up on the right side of the fairway.
And by right, you mean left.
I mean, it's in the right place to be pretty much to have a good shot.
Absolutely.
If not, you're going down Tree Alley down the middle.
That looked like a pump by Emerson.
So you have to navigate that alley, that hallway of trees to get up there, where these guys on this side of the fairway can just pump it up over the top. Should be okay.
I will go ahead and say that he did not get a fortuitous roll either. He had landed in that alleyway, which gave him a straight shot, but as it is, he's going to have to do a little Annie with a flex at the end to get in circle one. We're watching card 2 come up the fairway. Let's take a second to see how this card is doing on the scoreboard. Right now, in first place, obviously, is Paul McBeth. Second, Simon Lizotte, 1 stroke out. Ricky Wysocki, who threw that roller here that people so agilely he got out of the way of, 22 down. He's two strokes behind McBeth. Nico and Austin Turner are sitting at 20 strokes down, 4 shots out of the lead. Let's get out of the way here, Joe.
Let's go. And remember, for you folks at home that are watching, go ahead and share the link. Click away, share, let your friends know you're watching, let your family members know you're watching. The UDisc live coverage, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, Nick Hyde Memorial, Rockwall, Texas, presented by Innova Disc Golf and Heiserbaum. Really want to thank everyone at Innova for really getting behind this tournament and helping Matt grow it to where it is, as well as their involvement with the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
I was going to say, it's not just the tournament. Innova's involved in many different ways, and they were the first people to come on board as one of the premier partners of the Pro Tour this year. Discraft and Prodigy came on board as premier partners for the second year in a row, which is fantastic as well. And we've got Emerson Keith, who is a local, finds himself on the second card of a Pro Tour event. Hopefully this is an experience that not only he will remember, but he'll use to grow and hopefully get on the lead card someday in the future.
Yeah, he's definitely growing into being a great golfer. Watched him over the years develop into the pro player that he is today. He did get a nice pull. So he played that hallway well, Steve. Now these guys out here can just go straight over the top, shoot it down into the approach to the basket. Eagle outsizing up his landing zone.
I don't know what that is.
LeCastro. I believe Nico's going to play the big Sky Hyzer over there. He gets one up. If that travels, that's a good-looking shot, Steve. It's firing into a blind green, so we really won't know till they get up there. And he yells up as he's safe, and we heard back at, "You're good now." Eagle's letting him know he's coming in the same way, so see how he executes.
For players like Eagle and Simon, and even Paul and Ricky, it's a different game than the rest of us can think about playing. They see lines we couldn't think about seeing.
Eagle tried to play that low line, and he's not happy with the outcome.
Risk and reward, Joe. Risk and reward. He wanted to get it up there and card the birdie. He didn't want to do the easy, short shot par. Sometimes it's going to bite you. The interesting thing, though, now he has another opportunity still to try to card the par. So as long as he can keep his head about him. I want to say a huge shout out of thanks to Eagle McMahon. He did our first Know Your Pro piece, and he opened up to us as a person, and we got to learn a lot about him. If you haven't seen that yet, I'd highly recommend you go to YouTube and on our DGPT page, search for Eagle McMahon Know Your Pro. It's probably about a 4 or 5 minute piece, and get to learn a little bit more about who this young man is and where he might be going in the future.
Yes, he's one of the more approachable pros. He was really active with his vlogging and his social media. I did see a post from him today that he's going to take a step back from that so he can focus 100% on his play.
It's interesting how you have to set priorities. If you want to do something, you gotta commit to it.
Especially with the amount of talent out on tour now in disc golf. Everyone's got to put in the work to stay relevant, stay in the mix, and stay in the money, which will in turn keep you on the road.
Uh-oh. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess that is out of bounds. It would seem like something over there is out of bounds.
Yep, that's looking like it might be out of bounds. He's definitely not happy. And word from the tower is guessing that his post about not vlogging was an April Fool's joke, but I guess we won't see till later today.
I'm glad to see that I got taken in by that. I still would recommend, if you want to do something as well as you can do, you need to focus on that one thing. So, and if I was Eagle right now, I would focus on this one recovery shot. He just needs to get one good shot, get his legs back under him. It's a marathon, as we've said.
And he needs to just calm down and execute. Speaking of all the April Fool's jokes that was sweeping the internet today, you had posted that the Disc Golf Pro Tour was pulling out of Rockwall due to weather, and you bring us the weather. And then Annabelle, of course, came out with the Disc Catcher 3.
I would play a provisional at this point. I'm not the TD.
Steve is getting a question for the TD from the second card, and it's involving OB as well on Wysocki's card. Wysocki's come back to talk with Steve, see where they stand, and I believe we're going to dispatch Matt Siri over there to make that call.
See him? No, he's not here.
And Eagle got up and down. If that stays to the right side of the OB line, he should be okay up there. But back to the April Fool's jokes, with the Disc Catcher 3, and then we had Disc Golf United selling a Rancho Cucamonga crisp, and I believe that they sold about 8,000 bags this morning as an April Fool's joke. So I'm sure that Adrian and the crew over there are going to have a little cleanup work on Monday.
So I will go ahead and say as far as I know, and someone can say I'm wrong, but if they want, but the Pro Tour's never had a rainy event yet. This is we had 6 events last year, and this is our 3rd event this year. So 9 events. We haven't had rain yet, and I don't know. If it rains, maybe we should just leave. What do you think of that, Joe?
After the storms I've been hovering in for the last 2 weeks, I can tell you Mother Nature's no joke. So I think if I encounter any more golf ball or cantaloupe size hail in this area, you will see nothing but the rear end of the RV.
I'm going to go ahead and knock on wood and stop talking about the weather, and instead I'm going to concentrate on watching Paul McBeth's amazing drive.
Oh, and he clears the trees.
Did that come out of that?
I don't think it did. I think it caught it, but he's right on he would take the spot straight down from there, and he'll still have room to get a throw off.
I think he's probably within 150 of the pin. That was an insane drive.
Well, the pin's still a ways up there. Once you get up around that corner, Still a little ways, but that was a great drive. That finished out, he'd definitely be at the window.
Well, he's 150 feet of where I'd put the pin.
I wouldn't count any of these guys out from anywhere in this fairway on this card. That was Sexton. Sexton with the big drive, and now we got McBride stepping to the pad. So far, this card has played more to the right side of the fairway than the second card that we just watched play, where they were all coming to the left side of the fairway.
Wow.
Lots of spin on that disc. Comes down in the hallway as well, just a couple feet off the trees. Crowd enjoyed that.
So Peter demonstrated there that he has got some guns. That kid can throw. All the times that he's been taking the safe, low roots, keeping the disc out of the wind, it's not because he can't throw it far. It's because he's playing safe. And those were two amazing drives at the end by Peter and Simon. Peter, Simon, and Paul, after they start their rock band, have got some good looks at birdie. Let's go see what the women did.
Let's go see how the ladies managed this hole, Steve. He was trying to track back in.
Yeah.
Okay, we've gotten up to their lies, Steve, and looks like it's going to be Sexton first. He's in that hallway leading up to the green we saw the second card dealing with earlier. Probably going to keep it low through here.
So as Sexton lines up what he's going to do, I actually did just get a correction over my text. It apparently did pour during the Ledgestone Open last year, but it stopped before the lead card, so I was blissfully unaware.
Nice. Let's hope we can get through the rest of this hole and the next two holes, and then Mother Nature can do her thing for a few hours. Nate does go up high. I believe that's a pretty good shot. We're hearing claps from up around the circle.
I'm gonna guess, just a total blind guess, he's about 72 feet out.
72, that's a good number. So he would be about 5.5 feet off the back of circle 2 there, Steve. If I had math skills like that when I was in school, I might not be standing here talking with you, my friend.
You know how many push-ups I can do?
How many?
I don't know.
72. Simon lining his up. He's got a pretty good approach to the basket. He takes it out high. He's got plenty of room to get it up there. And we're hearing claps again, so these guys are checking up nicely.
Based on the claps, I'd assume that was a little bit closer. I'll put him at 50 feet. So Paul is currently in the lead by 1 over Simon and Ricky, who are both just 1 stroke behind, 23 down. Nico, Austin Turner, Peter McBride, Tim Barham, Nate Sexton all have a shot at the lead card tomorrow.
This should be a big run to the finish then. You know, some of these guys are out here with this backup. They're taking a look at their phones. They're UDisc scoring themselves. So they're probably doing the math right now and probably see some aggressive next couple holes. McBride out high. He needs to come down. He needs to settle. I'm not sure if he caught a tree up there. You probably see it better at home than I. But these next 2 holes after this hole, Steve, big meaty drives, you know, plenty of room to let the disc fly and really appreciate the flight of the disc and the technologies that are coming around. You should look for great big drives off the next 2 holes on this card and the second card. I saw Wysocki's drive on 17 as we were walking by. It looked like he just got a full pull on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing we just saw, it looked like the wind really decided that Peter's disc was a little too high and wanted to cut harder left than he was hoping. Paul McBeth up in a tree. Obviously no 2-meter rule, but he's got a little tricky shot to do here.
Yeah, he'll definitely be snugged into that cedar, taking the spot directly under.
Would you say the cedar trees are poplar? A lot of people like them.
Depends. Usually a lot of cedar allergies going down. I personally don't like them. And they grab a disc like the Christmas trees at your place.
That's the truth. I can't wait to cedar shot right here.
McBeth, once again, all arm on that. Nice shot. All right, and we journey on up 16's fairway. Big crowd building. A lot of the other players coming off their round coming to support these top 2 cards. A lot of bodies in motion out here at Harry Meyer Park. See how McBride, if McBride caught a tree, he probably won't have anything to worry about. See what the crowd says. Rest of the card's going to go in and help McBride figure out what he's got going on in there. We can't really see where he's at from here.
So the hot scores of the day are still sitting at 12 down. Austin Turner, Jeremy Colling, Drew Gibson sitting at 11 down with a couple holes to play. Paul McBeth, Simon Lizotte, and Ricky Wysocki.
McBride right off the front of the basket from there. That was a pretty solid attempt. McBeth with about a 20-footer from the edge of the wood line. And that's a 3. Now Nate's going to be coming out of the woods. He's looking at about a 25-footer. Nice putt by Sexton. A big three there. McBeth with the three as well. This is Simon for his three. And I believe that'll be a tap in 4 for McBride. With a great attempt out of the wood line. He'll knock in that 4. Let's go ahead and get a word from our sponsors. All right, and we're back on hole 17. Hole 17 is playing 888 feet. Very USDGC-esque, the infamous 888 hole. This hole allows for a strong drive. We've got the disc stalker OB Steve running all the way down the right side. Got McBeth on the pad.
Your disc stalker has actually printed hundreds of our discs this year. And we got a new shipment of the Vibram discs coming in. They're 7-color granite, printed full color with the Pro Tour second year logo. And here is Paul McBeth's drive.
McBeth gets a nice one off. That'll play nicely. Yeah, Dave and Julie have been doing great printing for years. Disc stalker over there. You can get the entire Twisted Flower collection there still. I think you can get the disc or die collection there. I mean, there's nothing that they can't print on. Great job for them. Nate Sexton. Going with that big roller. Touches down nice. If it's curving up on him, we're going to see the crowd move. Seems to be still going. He gets a clap from the crowd. You can see over the hills, so I think that worked out for him. He's pulled that roller out a few times today, very effectively.
Absolutely. That's 3 of them. I think that one rolled a little late for him, but very effective shot. Simon? The crowd is looking to their left, which is not a good sign.
You see him, Steve, you see him bombing over the PDGA wall here. We want to take a moment for the Disc Golf Pro Tour family to welcome new director Joe Chargaloff, getting the nod from San Antonio, Texas. After many years of service to the country, he plans to put in many years of service for the PDGA, so that's a good thing. And McBride with his rip. And we will see how the ladies played this hole.
So when the women played this hole, it was very windy. They were having a lot of trouble keeping the disc straight in this wind, except for Jennifer Allen, who just powered right through it. A very different story for the men right now. We have a gentle 5-mile-an-hour breeze, a little left to right across your screen, and I've got to say these guys. Oh, we're looking at Simon way in the back now, I guess. Yesterday, Simon eagled this. It's going to be. He's able to card the birdie. Very smart play by Simon.
Sexton with a nice drive. He's left himself clean here in the fairway. Just a big downhill bomb. A little water and disc stalker OB on the right. Fence left. I think he's gonna break one off.
So yesterday, there were a total of 2 eagles on this hole. Looks like Nate saw that a little left. There were 2 eagles total on this hole, and the people that eagled it are both on this card, Simon and Paul. It'll be interesting. It's so far 0 eagles on this hole, this par 5 today. So we'll see if somebody can. I guess we got Paul and Peter, the 2 people left. They can give this a real good look at the eagle.
That's a nice rip. Did I hear a stat floating around earlier, Steve, that everyone that was in the playoff at the Nick Hyde Memorial Tournament last year for the win is on this card today battling it out?
Not only that, but also the person that holds the course record. So those 3 people, Paul, Nate, and Simon, are joined by Peter McBride, who now owns the course record at 15 down. Today the hot score is 12 down, which shows that was a pretty significant round he put together yesterday.
His second shot, tracking nicely.
Oh my.
That is a nice shot. Get a little skip. All right, that was a great upshot, He's down there by the Rexarm Disc Golf Pro Tour elevated basket, correct?
You named that right. And I'll go ahead and say, just to give myself a plug, the Disc Golf Pro Tour logo is on there because that spot has not been sold yet. So if you have a company and you want your name on the elevated basket, reach out to Steven at discgolfprotour.com, and we'd love to slap your name on there instead of our logo.
Nice. Shameless sponsorship pitch. McBeth trying to turn over, and I think that wind's going to hold it over for him.
Oh.
Just kind of waving goodbye to it while it flew.
And now let's watch the women complete this hole.
Oh, airball, big time.
All right, so we've made our way about 650 feet down this fairway, Steve. Everyone's getting ready to throw their 3rd shot except for Simon. I believe he'll be throwing 4, but he's in the circle.
So if Nate Sexton can go up and down, he will be 20 under par, and that'll put him in 4th place. If Peter McBride can the eagle, that'll put him 20 down as well and tied for 4th place. Nate Sexton is in very good position to card the birdie and get the and move into a tie for 4th place. Despite
Zone. He's been playing some great golf, like you said, with the numbers that he put up yesterday and some of the ways that he's managed the situations he's found himself in on the course here today speak volumes to the kind of player that he is. Simon with a big lofting upshot putt.
Simon,
he's about 10 feet out. Working our way over to McBeth's drive. McBeth tried to get a turnover shot working for him, and it looks like the wind just kind of held it out left for him. So now he's going to kind of have to go up and over the trees. You see him kind of looking high, looking around.
This is a really dangerous shot, as we've got some wind coming basically from the basket away, and left to right for Paul. And if he gets it up too high, this could do a lot of stuff. Or he could just put it right next to the pin, no worries.
Standard little pop shot for Paul.
So the problem that I was anticipating was because I was going to be throwing a hyzer. Paul just threw a putt. And as I said earlier, these guys see lines we don't even see. Never would occur to me to putt over a tree that's 30 feet tall.
McBride is about 10 feet past circle one, so I'm guessing he's looking at a 45-footer to the elevated Rexarm basket. As Steve said, this could lock him into a solid tie for fourth, correct? Oh, he got it high enough, just a miss to the right. As Steve pointed out earlier, with these elevated baskets, those blow-bys can turn into considerable return putts or follow-up putts, if you will.
Absolutely. And one interesting thing, people have asked us why these are relatively short elevated baskets. And just like with our Zuka truss, which we'll see on the next hole, we didn't make it a Mando at all last year. We've already had it a Mando once this year. And these kind of things we want to introduce slowly, get people used to the idea. I could see this going up another foot next year and settling in at 5 feet. But for an introduction, I think 4 feet's a nice place to put it. Plenty of advertising space, shameless plug. These guys carding the birdies for Peter and Paul, and Simon with the par. Let's hear a word from our sponsors, and then head on over to the Zuka Truss after Nate Sexton hits this putt for what I believe is birdie.
Sun King Discs, established in 2001. Florida's most respected name in disc sports. Official retail merchandiser of the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Currently on tour supporting Discraft and DGA live inventory, free shipping at $12. All orders $19.99, ships in a box, includes single discs, large selection of both stock and collectibles. Check out the website at www.sunkingdiscs.com.
Hey everyone, it's AJ Risley. I've been on the road for about 5 or 6 weeks now. I'm going to be on the road for another 5 or 6 months for the rest of the year, and I've got another pro tip for you. When you're playing as much golf as I do and as the rest of the touring pros do, you are on your feet for pretty much 5 or 6 days out of the week, so that means that your feet are going to be pretty tired. So what I like to do is I always have a nice pair of flip-flops in the trunk and usually an extra pair of socks to change into right when I get off the course, because I know my dogs are definitely barking. So I want to get into some nice comfy flip-flops, get my feet out of that foot jail, and relax. There you go.
Okay, Steve, these players, these athletes have made it through 17 holes today here at Harry Meyer Park, Disc Golf Pro Tour Nick Hyde Memorial. Hole 18's carrying over the water through the Zuka Truss. Give us some stats on this hole, Steve.
Well, the first thing I'm going to say is if Paul McBeth aces this, he will shoot the hot round of the day and tie Peter McBride's round from yesterday. Paul McBeth's at 13 down. Simon Lizotte and Ricky Wysocki, who just finished this hole, are 12 down. Paul McBeth now has a 2-stroke lead over Simon and Ricky. And Nate Sexton now with that birdie on the last hole. Oh, Nico Locastro actually birdied hole 18 also, so he's now alone in 21 under par in 4th place. Nate Sexton needs to get the birdie here to again move into a tie for 4th.
He takes it way out wide around the tree. Skips nicely just outside of circle 1. Great drive by Nate Sexton. McBride next on the pad.
Peter McBride sits at 19 down with a birdie here. He could move into 5th place.
He got a great rip there as well. And that'll put him right at the edge of circle 1 as well.
And Simon Lizotte, the only person on this card that birdied hole 18 yesterday. And he could use a birdie now. He's 2 strokes behind Paul. Final hole, round 2.
And he pulls it out right. He's playing with the keen OB line, but I'm sure he'll hyzer in nicely. Looks like he's about halfway into circle 2 there. So let's see how the ladies handled this hole, Steve. Okay, McBeth on 18 for his putt.
McBeth had 0 putts outside circle 1 that have made it in the basket. And this is actually one of his few attempts.
That was a great run.
From our perspective, just like McBride's earlier, it looked perfect. Simon Lizotte, 100% in circle 1. 17 for 17. In circle 2, 0 for 3.
He finds himself in circle 2. Simon running by. Not able to change that stat here on 18 on day 2, Steve.
He knows he left a few out there. He lost those 4 strokes and those pivotal holes in the backside. Those 3 holes. And he finds himself 2 behind. Nate Sexton, 0 for 2 in circle 2.
Sexton putting into the crowd. Hey, stat changer.
1 for 3, and instead of putting into the crowd, he put it in the basket. And this is a stat Peter McBride would not like to hear. He's 0 for 7 from circle 2, which probably makes him glad he's just inside circle 1. Where he's 100%.
McBride gets up and down from just inside circle 1 as Steve called. On behalf of everyone here at the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Nick Hyde Memorial, End of a Champion Disc and Heiser Bomb, all of the spectators, everyone watching at home, we truly appreciate it. We hope that you can tune in tomorrow and watch the final round here at the Nick Hyde. It will be 5 o'clock Eastern. Make sure and share away. Let everyone know what you'll be watching tomorrow. Everyone have a good night. Stay dry.
Thank you all for watching. Have a good night.